What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. What I want to do right now is I want to talk about a major move that was made by the BRICS nations, or mainly Russia and China, because they made a major move and I want to address what's going on. Last week I addressed this specific issue, but a lot of people have been asking questions about it, so I want to address what's happening. Well, just recently, Russia and China, or the BRICS nations, they announced that they will develop a new global reserve currency. Now, this currency is going to be backed by rare earth minerals out of the 5 different nations. This includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Now, the reason why they're doing this is because they want to get away from the US dollar. The final straw, according to reports, that got Russia and China to decide to do this was recently when the United States actually used financial sanctions against Russia to try to stop them from invading into Ukraine. We saw Russian banks get excluded from the SWIFT international payment program. And according to a few Chinese officials, this was their major wake-up call, because when they got excluded from the SWIFT systems, they started to realize that the United States and other nations could actually use this as a financial, political weapon. And this is something they didn't want. But why is this such a big deal to see Russia and China announce this new global reserve currency? Well, it's actually because Russia knows that they now have the power and the ability to do this, which this would actually move them further away from the US dollar. Because in the past, what happened was the United States held all the power because we told other countries that, hey, if you want to buy our oil, that's fine, but you have to buy it in US dollar. Well, guess what? Recently, this is what's giving Russia all the power, because Russia was recently sanctioned by many countries, including the United States. When this happened, Russia told these countries that if you want our oil and our resources, that is fine, but you need to pay for it in rubles. Guess what? That's exactly what other countries did. They told them, if you want to buy our resources, you got to buy it in rubles. And that's what they did. But not only that, they sold their resources at a discount. So not only do you pay it in rubles, which would actually help the ruble, and it shot it back up, not only that, but they were going to sell their resources at a discount, which means if you're another country, you are gladly going to take any discount that you can get, especially when we are seeing global inflation. But guess what? Other countries did exactly what Russia asked them to do. Well, guess what that means? That now means and now proves that Russia has the ability and has the power. But not only that, Russia realized how much value they can actually provide to the rest of the world. Now, yes, they provide oil. They have, I believe it's like 13% of the world's market share in titanium. I know for platinum, they're a little over 10% of the world's market share. And even in, I believe it's aluminum, they hold about 5 to 6% of the world's market share there. But it's not only that. Russia also has diamonds, coal, palladium, gold, nickel, right? And according to the most recent reports, Russia actually accounts for about 14% of the world's total mineral extraction. Yeah, 14% in one country. That's how we know Russia actually has a lot of power. Now, I'm not here to say, oh, we need to go invest into Russia. I'm not saying we need to just give up on the US dollar. I'm just saying that what Russia and China did is a major move that we need to be well aware of, because this is going to impact the US dollar. But it's not just Russia. Brazil's main export is iron ore, which 68% of all their exports went to China. India's main export is coal, which is actually the 4th largest reserve in the entire world. And South Africa, their minerals include chrome, manganese, vanadium, vermiculite, ilmenite, palladium, rutile, zirconium, crude, and coal. So again, there's a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of things that the United States wants. But what if we cannot pay for this with a US dollar? And we have to use the new global reserve currency. Well, that can create issues. But what is happening right now? This is the question I got a lot from a lot of people just recently. What is happening right now is that the US dollar is actually losing its hold as the most valuable currency. And it's doing so because right now we're not producing the goods that we once did in terms of global percentage. And you see this. We here in the United States, we keep on asking other countries to produce more oil. We need more oil. The cost of oil, the price of oil is just going up, skyrocketing. The price of gasoline here in the United States was just going up and up and up. Now it's going down, which is great. But we are going to other countries. We are dependent on other countries, right? So again, it's not a good look. But what is happening is that other countries like Russia and China, they are not just selling off all of their resources like we do here in the United States. Because here in the United States, if we produce too much oil, what do? We sell it. We sell it off. Because we want to make some money. We want to profit off that, which is great. But if we do that all the time, then we're not going to be seen as the powerhouse at some point. Well, this is where the United States is currently standing, is because other countries have these resources that they're not untapped, but they haven't been selling off their resources like the United States has. Again, it's a major problem. So, what can we look forward to? Well, here's what I can tell you. One of the things that people are worried about right now is that the New World Order, okay? This is something that we've talked about over the past 2 years as well. Is there going to be a New World Order? Some say yes. Some say the United States might not be the big powerhouse that we used to be. We may still have the military, right? And that's the big thing. We may still have, oil, right? But eventually, if the Biden administration, and again, we don't know if the Biden administration is going to continue just for the next 2 years, or will they go for the next 2 years, get reelected, and go for another 4? We don't know. But what we do know is that many other countries are not really playing well with President Biden in the United States. Not just because of what we've done as far as sanctions to Russia, but what we've done as far as contributing to other countries for things like COVID and the vaccines. And if you remember, the United States kept on trying to provide more funding to get vaccines to third world countries, to other countries, so that they can get out of this pandemic, right? And I always got the question, why would we invest into another country? Why would we send billions and billions of dollars to another country? This is why. Get that country on our side. Because if we didn't do it, and Russia and China, they decided, hey, we will provide you with vaccines. Do you think that other country would look to Russia and China as the savior and would potentially go and help them if they ever needed it? Potentially. So again, a lot of these things that have been done recently were just political moves. But what I can tell you right now is that this major move by Russia, China, and the BRICS nations, this is going to impact all of us. It may not happen this year in 2022. It may be something that's a long-term plan, but we do know that things are changing. And what we've seen over the past 2 years is just a small indication of what's going to happen. So, just wanted to warn you on what's going on, fill you in on some of the insights and some of the updates as to what's happening, because I know a lot of people question whether or not this new global reserve currency would actually come to light. Well, it looks like it's going to. It's just going to be a matter of time, and once it does, how is this really going to impact the United States? Well, we're going to see, because right now, the United States is having a lot of issues. We have $30 trillion in debt. We have a massive amount of debt. And China keeps on reducing the amount of debt that they hold in US dollar. China was I think they still are, the biggest debt holder. But why would China reduce the debt the U.S. dollar, right? Why would they do that? Or to reduce their holdings? One, people say it's because China's economy is crumbling. Two, because China has another plan. Well, we're going to find out soon enough, but I just want to fill you in on what's going on as of right now. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.